We have a second. Director Schaefer, I would, before, if any, I don't know if anybody else wants to speak, but I would like to give you the opportunity to speak first.
First of all, I question the interface did make a statement. I don't think I was in anybody's face. How much time am I allotted?
There's no time limit.
I'm sorry.
There's no time limit.
No time limit? First of all, I guess I have to question, and I thank you for the presentation. Of the, in the email says response behavior of the board is requested public recognition. When you mention board, does that consist of 4 board members?
I don't know an exact number. That was the recommendation wording that was given to me by legal.
By legal?
Yes.
So, as the board is mentioned, I would say that if we're talking board, that constitutes board members. It would be a quorum of the board. The meeting should have been held, should have been posted.
According to legal, that doesn't have to happen.
According to legal.
Yes.
So we have had legal representation. I don't know if I should go further than that maybe I should state that I would like to have legal representation present. For myself, I was not notified that this was a legal issue.
It's not a legal issue. It's policy. So we consulted with MSBA and we consulted with Ed Council.
Second thing on this, it says board member, and I would also like to consider this possibly one sunshine law violation. Therefore, people participated in this and made a predetermined decision on coming forward with this process. On the board commitments. These board commitments came about from the MSBA conference, where once again a group of board members existing, and this has been stated, board and board got together and said they thought this would be a good idea. Which there is truly nothing wrong with stating that, I don't think. However, if 4 board members, and I believe Dr. Kane was involved or consulted on this at that MSBA meeting, if 4 board members got together, determined that they wanted to bring this forward, and made a decision as to if any one of these commitments were going to be part of the process, that also constituted a sunshine law violation. Because rather than discussing, coming through as alders from MSBA, come back to our board and sit down and discuss at the board meeting, what did you learn, what do you feel beneficial? I do feel that this was by 4 board members at the MSBA conference established, and if any one of these 4 or any one of these board members or any one of these commitments by these 4 board members was adopted, it was a predetermined meeting of the board. So I would question that.
So I do want to speak very clearly in terms of the MSBA meeting and actually what happened with the development of the board commitments themselves. In conversations that I was privy to, there were never more than 3 board members involved in any conversation. If you go back and look, what we actually had in that case was a situation where the board, in our conversation, in the board's conversation in the fall, wanted to pursue and move forward with the board commitments. And a subcommittee was formed, if I remember correctly, by board members to, a subcommittee was formed by the board members in a public meeting to move forward and examine the whole notion of board commitments. If I'm remembering correctly, and someone call me out if I'm not remembering this correctly.
But I think these comments are related to the motion. I think this is establishing what this is. Are we saying that you don't want me to say anything?
No, I'm saying that another member of this board felt like you invaded the personal space and threatened, made that person feel threatened. That's what the motion is about. So do you want to speak to that?
Well, sure, I'll speak to that. I said that is totally false. That is totally false. I don't think I moved out of my chair. I didn't move other than address the person.
I'd like to
This
say
is
something now,
totally-
please. I'd like to
This is
say,
totally wrong.
I'd like to speak at this time. I happened to be there at that time. I did not see that violation that you're referencing. I did not see that. And Dr. Kane, you were not there, and neither were you, Heather. So I was there. I did not see that. I would not have been, this is ridiculous, to be really honest with you. And where are the minutes from the board meeting that you had? I wasn't invited to that.
What board meeting?
I don't know, what meeting did you?
Yeah, there wasn't a board
Why did you
meeting.
decide to do that?
It wasn't a board meeting.
So in other words, I mean, I heard that, I heard what was said, and I certainly did not feel anybody should have felt threatened. I
Well,
was
it
not-
wasn't said to me, and my heart was pounding for that person to feel threatened. When someone's finger is in your face,
I never saw him in his face, anybody's face. I saw Director Schaefer
yeah.
as he was being further discussed by the accuser, let's call him that. And he said, the meeting's adjourned, I'm leaving, and he left. I didn't see him do anything like you're commenting.
Okay.
And I had no knowledge of this. I had no knowledge of any of this. It's disgraceful.
Director Schaefer, do you have any other comments that you want? Yeah, do you have any other comments related to the motion?
I think what Ms. Gardner's saying is absolutely right. Other than make a comment, we was discussing, the issue in front of us was compensation.
We can't talk about this, so it's a closed session meeting,
So why are we doing this in closed session?
because it has to be an open. This part has to be an
It's
open.
yours, apparently. I
We're gonna
saw
vote.
what I saw.
I can't, as we're talking about in this courtesy to me, talk about board commitments. I mean, there's been a board member that's been attacked for these commitments, told they cannot ask questions in the board meeting.
Okay, so
I
you,
mean, but that is totally false. You can ask questions at the board meeting. Staff has 48 hours to give a response. But yet, these commitments told a board member, you cannot ask a question and was stopped at a meeting. This is no more different than, how can I not talk? How can I not defend myself if I can't talk about the process of what was going on in a closed session meeting, if I don't mention any names?
you just can't.
But I can't sit here and be accused of threatening somebody
I
and
did not see
violating their
that.
space.
I did not see that.
Yeah,
And
we're
I didn't
gonna,
hear it.
It's violating their
Yeah,
space.
so we're not gonna go-
Which is something that is totally off the wall. Let those say then here in this open session that they think that I violated and threatened a board member. The only thing that I said, I couldn't talk, I was question on what I was talking about. I've always watched our financial situation in this school district, of where we spend our money. I could not be told what the process was gonna be, what time was gonna be committed. I didn't get an answer. I couldn't. And then the same. And there's so many things. I could go over so many things. But if you want me to stay on track and just talk about this, I'm fine. I could go over so many things that we had violated. Policy. But anyway, back to this meeting. I felt that I couldn't speak. I've had to make hard, I'm gonna go to the base of this. I've had to make hard decisions. We all make hard decisions when we talk personnel, when we talk students. I'm sitting there and I can't talk. I have a classmate that has since deceased, that worked for our school district. And when a teacher was threatened, he spoke up to the student and said, when the teacher was threatened, spoke up and said, you're gonna have to go through me. He escalated the problem. But I had to tell him, no, I can't do nothing for you. He was not wrong for standing up for that teacher to protect him. But I stood by and I made my decision. I have a student that I had to act on, that I coached his grandfather, who still lives in the Wentzville School District. Caused a disruption in school, a safety issue. And I told that family I did not do nothing, and I voted to uphold the suspension of our administration. All I said was, sometimes we have to do stuff in this school district that we don't like to do. Now, if that's a threat, you tell me. And I want every board member that was there that night to tell me that I threatened somebody other than say just what I repeated or in that context.
All right, we're gonna, oh, go ahead, Brad, I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna say, when you, in my mind, it was a very aggressive and threatening meeting. I think you made somebody feel threatened. I'm not saying that you came out and did any direct action, if that's what you're looking for. But by your course of actions, your tone, and the words you were using, I think you made somebody feel threatened.
I don't think I've raised my voice.
I didn't see that, Brad.
Sometimes I'm a very excitable person, but I don't think I raised my voice when that was probably the calmest I've been.
And I agree.
If I would speak like that at my work from 8 to 5 in the building, I would have gotten escorted out. I really think so. I would have to
What
give up
was
my
coming
badge.
back at me, like nobody was aggressive back at me when I was questioning how we was gonna spend our money and what the performance was, everybody was aggressive back at me.
And Brad, I had a comment after Director Schaefer left, and I commented about the body language in this room.
Correct.
You do remember that,
Yes.
and I see it. I see it every meeting,
Correct.
and I think it's rather antagonistic, quite truthfully. And I told you all that.
Yeah, go ahead, Dale. That's fine,
I
go
can
ahead.
say it one. Let's see one more. There's issues that we did at this board meeting going back 2-3 years. that it's in total violation of state statutes. I have not pursued it. There's other issues as far as what we did to change the votes and I'm not right. I haven't pursued it. Why? To protect the students of this school district the best I could and keep our face in front of the people in this district that support us. We had 17,000 students in this district, 17,077, I believe, as of today, for next year. We have 26,000 tax-paying entities within this school district. All I ever did in this school district was try to maximize our dollars for our students and not to waste anything that would hurt their education. I've been quiet and ate crow on stuff that I knew was wrong, was a violation of state statutes. I've had attorneys tell me in MSBA, I've had legal counsel tell me the school laws were a firm outside of anybody we use. And then you want to come in, am I gonna get so many strikes?
What are the consequences? That's what I'd like to know. What are the consequences?
We're just gonna vote at this point. I'm gonna request a roll call vote
Vote to what?
Vote for
Vote
what?
to what? You don't want to answer them?
for the public reprimand.
Because you don't want to answer.
Oh, wow.
And then answer, how many strikes did I get?
It's like baseball, Dale, you get three.
This particular hearing brings caution to all of us. So, can I next?
This is.
I wouldn't even call this a hearing.
This is a group that is hurting my image within this school, within the communities we serve. Because nobody's ever questioned me on anything. Nobody's ever said, I can't call up here, I've asked for stuff. Sorry to put you. I've asked for stuff, I asked for Dr. King left a message, and I've been told the board does not want to give you that. These are items of public record. Of public record.
Don't you have anything to say?
Yeah.
We don't have to, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and vote.
I don't know what your vote means. If you didn't vote, but I'd like to know what it means.
Vote for what?
It means we're supporting the motion.
So
The
what does it
violation.
mean?
Nothing.
What does it mean other than trying to deframe my character?
It's our role to govern each other, and that's the purpose of this, is to govern.
That's not in policy. It is not in policy. It has nothing there.
You guys screwed up. I don't know what you're thinking.
What do you want? He's right there. Right. Right, ready?
That's order.
Okay.
President Weiss.
Aye.
Vice President Reed. Aye. Secretary Buchanan.
Aye.
Director Garber.
Absolutely nay. And a disgraceful
Director
display.
Fleming.
Yeah.
Director Turner.
I need to abstain. I was not at the meeting nor was I on the phone during it. Thank you.
And Director Schaefer.
I need to abstain too, so put it in the record. The comments are unjust. This is nothing but,
All right.
they're gonna say,
I make a motion to adjourn.
this is nothing but a group of people saying, hey,
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Brad, did you vote?